So with Sonic Frontiers coming out in the near end of this year, I thought it'd be fun just to talk about what some of the Sonic games I really like. Now when it comes to Sonic, there is a bunch of debate on which Sonic games are the best. Whether it's 2D or 3D, there's a lot of pretty good Sonic games out there. Now when I grew up with Sonic, it was mostly around the GameCube era, which is honestly in my opinion the best way to play a Sonic game. Because you get to play a lot of Sonic's best outings on this console. But the Sonic games I mostly grew up with were either the Sonic Mega Collection or the Sonic Adventure games. Sonic Adventure 1 is the game I mostly remember the most when I was little. And this game had probably the biggest impact when it comes to the Sonic series, because as we all know, during the Saturn era, Sonic really never got a 3D outing, if you exclude stuff like the spin-off games. But with this, when Sonic finally jumps to 3D, he's going to do it in style. Now first things first, I would like to say, I really love the art style for this game. Like when I think of Sonic, I immediately think about this art style for this series. So in Sonic Adventure, you play as 6 characters throughout multiple stories, and once you've completed all of them, you unlock one final story. Now even though you're playing as 6 characters, the quality of those characters varies. So with that out of the way, let's get started. So in Sonic's story, the game starts out with Sonic running up on rooftops. This is when we first get introduced to Sonic's new voice actor.
Oh yeah! This is happening!
So yeah, with Sonic's jump to 3D, he also got a brand new voice actor. Now Sonic did have a voice actor during the cartoon days by Jaleel White, but this is when Sonic got a voice actor in the video games. I also like is that even after Rand Drummond stopped voicing Sonic officially in the games, he still associates himself with the Sonic community to the point where he actually helps out with some Sonic fan projects. What the one people mostly known about is probably Sonic & Tails R, which is an audio drama created by MUME. But anyway, so as Sonic is running through the city, he notices a bunch of cops heading towards something. The cops are trying to storm against this water creature known as Chaos. Sonic tries to confront Chaos, but then runs off into the sewers. The next day, Sonic is just chilling around near the pool when he notices that Tails is about to crash into Emerald Coast. Sonic eventually finds Tails, and once they return back to the hotel, Tails explains that he was experimenting with the Chaos Emerald. He then asks Sonic to come join them as he showcases a project at his workshop. Eventually, once they reach to Mystic Ruins, Eggman suddenly attacks Sonic and Tails to get the Chaos Emerald. I should also mention is that this is the first time where American audiences get to hear Eggman's name, because throughout most of the Genesis era, he was mostly referred to as Dr. Robotnik, a name that was exclusively for the American audience. But in here, they decided to combine both names into one, where his real name is Robotnik, but Eggman is just his nickname. And it's a nickname that he eventually takes with pride. Well, for the American version. But anyway, so Sonic stops Eggman, but before Eggman runs off, he steals the emerald from Sonic. He then calls in his partner, Chaos, the monster that Sonic faced the other night, and then Chaos absorbs the emeralds, making him even more powerful. And so Sonic and Tails tries to find all the emeralds before Eggman can. They were able to find the emeralds in various locations, but unfortunately, Eggman is really cunning in this game. Whether it's Eggman knocking them out with gas to steal the emerald, or once again tricking Knuckles into thinking Sonic's the villain. Like, what the hell, Knuckles? You've seen what he did last time. But anyway, so with Eggman having 4 emeralds, he then calls in his giant airship, the Egg Carrier. Sonic and Tails try to fly the plane to get to the airship, but Eggman just blasted them out of the sky. Sonic crash lands back in Station Square where he meets up with Amy. Amy asks Sonic to guard a bird because a giant robot is after them. Amy then rushes to Twinkle Park to hide from the robot. And also I like Sonic's delivery in this.
Amy! Wait! Oh man! That girl is such a pain!
After a wonderful ride around Twinkle Park, the robot then catches up to Amy and then takes her back to the egg carrier. With no time to lose, Sonic rushes off to Red Mountain and then catches up with Tails. After traversing throughout the egg carrier, Sonic then finds Amy with this mysterious robot called Gamma. After a small fight, Amy assists Sonic to spare the robot as she befriended him. Sonic then catches up to the center of the airship where he meets Chaos 6. With that, we have Eggman and after defeating Chaos 6, Eggman runs off with Sonic chasing after him.
I hate Eggman.
Eventually, after scavenging around the jungle, Sonic finds himself inside of a temple. In it, he finds a mysterious mural of a giant creature. Before Sonic can think of anything, a light then consumes Sonic and he teleports to a mysterious land. There, he finds himself in a strange temple where a bunch of baby chows lying dead on the ground, with the whole area just being on fire. Jesus Christ. But anyway, so this is where you find the mysterious Echidna character named Tikal. And throughout the entire game, she'll showcase her backstory towards a lot of the characters in this game. But anyway, there's no time to lose. Sonic needs to go back to the final egg to stop Eggman.
Get a load of this! 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 Hey, I'll play with you some other time!
And that was Sonic's story. And overall, I thought it was a pretty solid little story for Sonic. It's just pretty much the simple Sonic vs. Eggman motif you've seen in the Genesis game. But anyway, with the story done, it's time to go for the gameplay. So in Sonic Adventure, Sonic travels through 10 levels throughout the game, with 3 hub worlds to boot. And honestly, I have to say this real quick, I freaking love a lot of these levels. Emerald Coast is a great starting point because it shows you what kind of adventure Sonic is going for. When you start Tickle Bar, you're doing this little cart mini game, but then when you start the level, you're climbing up this giant castle. And let's not forget about Speed Highway. This is a really good and energetic level. That's why they brought it back in Generations. And with that, I should also mention about the controls in this game. For Sonic Team's first 3D Sonic game, this is pretty well done. Sonic just feels very natural in this game. And if you can master the spin dash, you can go through crazy jumps. Now, if there's only one minor gripe I have with Sonic's section of this game, it's probably just the little mini games you do. I'm more talking about this little airship mini game you have to do. It just makes me feel like I'd rather play Star Fox. But other than that, Sonic's story is just really good. Now, for Tails' story, he goes through various areas like Sonic did, but unlike Sonic's motivations where he wants to stop Eggman, Tails' motivations that he wants to prove himself more than just a sidekick. And that goes for his gameplay, where he goes through the same levels like Sonic did, but this time it's pretty much a race. Now these are, these are pretty easy. Now I'm not saying that these levels are bad, they're just lesser than Sonic's story. Since Tails can just fly through everything, you're pretty much flying a lot of the levels. Not saying it can't be fun, because I do get a good kick of Speed Hideaway, but overall, I'd just rather play these levels as Sonic than Tails. Although for the cutscenes themselves, I do like the little contrast they have compared to Sonic and Tails, where Tails has a different perspective compared to Sonic, where characters like Eggman will sound much more aggressive.
It's a giant talking egg!
Silence! I am Dr. Robotnik, the greatest scientific genius in the world!
Eggman!
Silence! I am Dr. Robotnik, the most cunning scientific genius in the world!
Now the only issue I have with these certain aspects is that you need to do these certain levels a lot of times. Take this scene for example where Eggman steals the Chaos Emeralds. You need to fight Chaos 4 about 3 times, since Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are in the exact same cutscene. And let's not forget about the plane minigame where I said in Sonic's story I thought it was a bit boring. Well, since Tails is there, you need to do that again, so you need to do the airplane levels at least 4 times. Overall, I did enjoy Tails' story, but I feel like it was a bit too samey for my taste. Now, for Knuckles' story, it follows up for his adventures in Sonic 3, where he's guarding the Master Emerald. However, on one night, as Knuckles is guarding the Master Emerald, a mysterious creature shatters up the Master Emerald, which causes Angel Island to fall into the sea. So it's up to Knuckles to reclaim all the pieces of the Master Emerald and rebuild it. So Knuckles plays a lot differently compared to Sonic and Tails, where instead of going through a linear level, you're exploring an entire open area to get the Master Emeralds. Now Knuckles has a special tracker that tracks all 3 Master Emerald pieces. Eventually Knuckles can upgrade himself to dig through holes. Honestly, this is a nice change of pace compared to Sonic's traditional speed, where instead of trying to get through a level as fast as you can, you're trying to collect everything as fast as you can. Not saying all of them lands, like Skydeck can be a bit annoying with the gravity shifting, and the whole you have to play this area several times thing still floats with Knuckles, like Chaos 6. But overall, I thought Knuckles' gameplay style was pretty good. But now we're at Amy's story, and So after coming home from shopping, Amy stumbles upon a mysterious bird that's being chased by this giant-ass robot. She tries to get away in Twinkle Park, but only gets captured by the robot and sent to Eggman's ship. Amy then tries to persuade this robot to let her out, and she was able to do so. Now Amy has a new purpose, to try to find the bird's family. And now, for the gameplay. Amy is incredibly slow in this game. So throughout the game, Amy has to go through 3 levels and try to find this balloon, while being chased by this giant robot. Now the robot himself is no threat, like you can literally just hit him in the head and he just gets stunned. So since the robot's not the issue, the whole thing is mostly about going through very slow stages. So instead of feeling like a Sonic game, it's pretty much playing like a, KO game? Nah, that's just an insult to KO. KO's good. This is meh. On the bright side though, at the end of Amy's story, you can actually beat up the robot that's been annoying her the entire time. Now, speaking of robots, now for the first time in a Sonic game, you get to see a perspective of one of Eggman's robots. This is Gamma, a robot that's been recently built by Eggman. After going through a trail and defeating his own brother, Eggman is impressed by him. His first mission out in the fields is trying to find a special frog. So after obtaining the frog, Gamma's next mission is to try and take the bird from Amy. This is when she was able to persuade Gamma to free her. But before he was able to do it, he accidentally walked into the wrong room where he sees his own brother getting dismantled. And this, alongside of Amy's persuasion, caused Gamma to change inside. Gamma then decides to take down Eggman's robots and free the animals inside. Now for the gameplay, Gamma returns to more fast-paced platforming levels. He's not as fast as Sonic and Tails, but he's able to wield this weapon, because in Gamma's story, there's a 3-minute time limit. You need to shoot as many things as you can to keep that time limit up. And once Gamma goes rogue, the main purpose of the levels is trying to get to the end so he can do a little boss fight. This all concludes in the end where he tries to fight his brother again, now all souped up. He was able to defeat his brother again, but he was critically damaged by it, and all he can do now is just free the bird inside of him. Ending Gamma's story. Honestly, I really like Gamma's story. In a way, it's kind of a homage of Sonic's original story where he's trying to save animals from Eggman. But instead of being Sonic, it's one of Eggman's own robots. And we get to see that Eggman is also a massive jerk to his own creations. So yeah, Gamma's story, it's overall really great. And as for the gameplay itself, it's honestly really fun, which explains why it was returned in Adventure 2. Now with Gamma down, there's only one character left. Big the cat. So Big's story is that his pet frog one day accidentally swallowed a piece of chaos. And with that, he was able to steal one of Big's Chaos Emerald. And now it's up to Big to find his pet frog. And the only way he can do that is to fish him out. And I'm just gonna get to the point that we all know about this. Big's gameplay style is just bad. It took me forever to realize how to catch on to Froggy, and his story is either going to be the longest thing you'll ever play, or the shortest thing you'll ever play. As for me, it's the shortest thing I ever played, because this gameplay style just took me about 20 minutes, with most of the time being just in cutscenes in the hub world. And all I could say is that Big has a terrible time holding on to Froggy.
Froggy? Uh-oh. No! Hold on there! Come back, please! Give me my friend back! I'm begging you, please!
Dear God, they gave the voice of Duke Nukem the stupidest voice I've ever heard. Apparently the reason why they added Big is because they wanted a random observer. But the thing is that Big has no significant impact in the story. And so to wrap his story up, after saving Froggy from Chaos 6, Big just simply hijacks Tails' plane, concluding to Big's story. And now, with all the characters out of the way, let's get started with the presentation. Now, to get things out of the way first, I'm playing a modded version of Sonic Adventure, which is better known as the Better DX mod, because when it comes to the vanilla Steam version, it is pretty laggy. Just look at the shot-by-shot comparisons. The difference is really night and day. Now, since this is a 1999 release, obviously the environments and everything is very dated, especially with the cutscenes where they are very, very dated. So while technically dated, aesthetically wise, I honestly really love this. Sega games around this time always had this really nice cozy feel to it, where games like Night just feel very whimsical. My favorite environments of the game are easily Emerald Coast, Twinkle Park, Station Square, Speed Highway, and the returning Ice Cap. And let's not forget about the concept art of this game. When Sonic & Co. jumped to the next generation, they had an updated look to them, with these artworks representing the characters going forward. And these are easily my favorite style for Sonic ever. Now don't get me wrong, I really do like the artwork for stuff like Sonic Mania and stuff, but the artwork for Sonic Adventure feels a lot more home to me. And I have to talk about this artwork especially, because this is probably one of Sonic's most iconic artworks. And this pose he does is pretty iconic, that's been referenced a lot of times. And let's not forget about the music. Sonic Adventure by far has my favorite soundtrack in the entire Sonic series, with the only game rivaling it is probably Sonic Mania. But I have to give the edge to Sonic Adventure because of its hard rock. Because every place, every person has their own theme song and it's just amazing. With the highlight easily being Open Your Heart, made by the one and only Crush 40. And they know this song will make a splash because it's the first song you'll hear once you boot up the game. And now, with that out of the way, it's time to wrap up this adventure. So after you clear all 6 characters, you'll unlock one final one, which is Super Sonic. So after Sonic defeated Chaos 6 and retrieved all the Chaos Emeralds, it's revealed that Chaos has survived. Not playing around anymore, he ambushes Eggman and then ambushes Knuckles later on. Sonic is just relaxing after a long adventure until Tails shows up telling that Angel Island is still falling again. With no time to lose, Sonic rushes back to Angel Island seeing that both Eggman and Knuckles are unconscious. Knuckles explains Sonic the bad news that Chaos has survived and he's stolen all the Chaos Emeralds. The light from before showed Sonic one more vision of the past. Now I've skimmed over this point of the game, but throughout the entire game when you're playing through all the characters, at some point this light will show a character a vision of the past. Yes, even him. This ball of light is Tikal, who was once part of the Echidna tribe and had a close relationship with the Chalice and the Emeralds. However, one night, the Echidna tribe tried to attack the altar, which fueled Chaos with rage that annihilated everyone. The only thing Tikal could do is seal both her and Chaos in the Master Emerald. With everything out of the way, Sonic needs to rush back to Tails' plane to get the last Chaos Emerald before Chaos can. Unfortunately, it's too late as Chaos was able to steal the final Chaos Emerald and transform into perfect chaos. And the first thing he does is flood Station Square with this severe tidal wave. Tikal's spirit then appears, I guess, and then tells Sonic to seal Chaos back up in the Master Emerald.
It won't change how he feels inside, will it? His heart will still remain in turmoil, and his anger just won't vanish. He'll just be trapped forever.
Sonic wanted to end this here and now was able to get all the Chaos Emeralds thanks to his friends. Chaos only absorbed the negative parts of the Chaos Emeralds, so Sonic is absorbing the positive parts. So the Chaos Emeralds are like batteries? But anyway, with that out of the way, it's time to transform. And here we have the final boss. So in order to defeat Perfect Chaos, you need to maintain your speed. Because if you run up to Chaos and you're not fast enough, Sonic will just fall off. So you need to go as fast as you can to run up to Chaos's core. But Chaos will attack, making you slow down. So you must think fast to dodge his attacks. And with everything done, Chaos has restored back to normal. The little chalice from the past returns to Chaos, and with that out of the way, Tikal and Chaos goes to the afterlife. Ending Sonic Adventure.
All's well that ends well, right?
Tails, the city is still destroyed. And that concludes Sonic Adventure. And overall, after replaying it for the first time in a while, I have to say, I still really enjoyed this game. It may not be perfect, like there's some areas you need to repeat, Big the Cat still sucks, but honestly, I feel like the positives outweigh the negatives by a lot. Because, well, yeah, I do not like stuff like Amy and Big's story, at least they are very short. Like, Amy is only 3 levels long, and Big is only like 20 minutes long. But the main meat of the game is easily Sonic's story. Sonic Adventure is probably one of my most replayed 3D Sonic games yet. I love the feeling of going through Emerald Coast and being chased by that giant well. I love climbing all the way up to Ice Cap and rewarded by going through this really fun sleigh ride. I love Twinkle Park as once you go through this little cart section, you have to climb all the way up to this giant castle. It's just really fun to replay through. And while I do play as Sonic the most, The other gameplay styles like Knuckles and Tails aren't really that bad. They're really fun when you're trying to go through 100%. This game may not be for everyone, but for me, it's easily one of my favorite Sonic games of all time, right next to stuff like Sonic Mania and Sonic Adventure 2. But that'll do for today, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye bye!